I got stuff to talk about and things to do, so let's get into it.
Get busy in here, get busy in here. Yeah, my squad run deep. Yeah, we really in here. I swear whatever you want, you can get it in here. Comedy or the drama, it's a mixture in here. But you love it in here. Yeah, you love it in here. Got reviews up in here. We got stories in here. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit the bell. Oh yeah, 3 clicks like the shoes on Dorothy in here.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy BusyBlu, and I am Black with another BusyBlu and Associates morning meeting. If you are in the building, make sure that you say good morning and hello when you walk into it. Happy President's Day to all the girls who are off of work today. Unfortunately, you do have to come into work today. You do not have off today, okay? So you do have to come off. For those who are new here, BusyBlu and Associates morning meetings is when I talk about hot topics, gossip, and news that I think is interesting. And if you think something is interesting, you can always DM it to me at BusyBlu, no space, no E, on Instagram and on Twitter. Let's get into it. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Talise. Good morning, Kimmy. Good morning, Gus Favor. Good morning, Pam. Good morning, Olympia. Good morning, Brittany. What's going on, everyone? So we're gonna start off with some company business, and this is kind of serious. Some people have been having issues about how things are going here, how we're running. This is and Keisha's one of them, and I was gonna bring some of this up. And Keisha, since you wanted to put your business out to the community, and the rest of the staff members, I'm gonna make sure that we do this publicly, because you're actually supposed to just write me an email, okay? But since you wanted to put this out publicly, let's talk about it. You need to let me know if you're going to take PTO time. There is a process, okay? And you need to go to page, I think it's 2,647, section 8, part B, /2, section 2-3. You need to let me know at least, at minimum, 2 years in advance on the day in which you're going to take time off. Okay? We prefer you to do it 3 years in advance because then we can approve it quicker. But at minimum, at least 2 years in advance for the time off that you're trying to take. Also, because we like transparency at this company, we want to know what you're doing. So your time off, Keisha, was denied only because you didn't write enough specificity with regards to your email. It was just like, oh, family trip. I need to know what the cruise is going to be. Are you going on the cruise? Are you going to, amusement park? Is it going to be a family reunion? We need to know what's going to be happening there. Okay, and you didn't give enough specificity. And I think you did yours 1 year, 364 days in advance, which does not meet the 2-year requirement. Okay, so there was just several things that was going on when you submitted your PTO, and if I start letting one person slip, then we can't let the other people slip. It became too much. So once it got to my desk, and I was looking at it, and I was looking through all of the paperwork and all of the stuff that you submitted, because you have to submit the paperwork, you have to show proof of whatever you say you're going to be doing. You also have to give a photo documentation. After your PTO is finished, we do need photo documentation to make sure that we can actually pay you for that time off. You need to submit photo documentation to showcase that you were doing exactly what you say you were going to do on your time off. You get what I'm saying? So there is a process 2 years in advance. We do prefer 3 years in advance, okay, to submit for PTO. There is a workforce who's going to be handling your work paper. There's 3 paperwork that you have to sign, and it has to be notarized. You have to submit the paperwork of who is going to do the work that you normally do. Okay. And they have to sign. So it needs your name, printed name, and signature. And then the printed name and signature of the person who's going to be taking that. That needs to be notarized. Okay. Secondly, you have to say that I am taking off for, this amount of time. This is 2 years in advance. That's a small one. Sign, put your name, and then your signatures. That also needs to be notarized. Okay. And then the last paperwork is that you have to do in detail what you're going to actually be doing. And you have to write that out, all the specifications, who's going to be coming, their social security numbers, all of that. They need to sign it, as do you. Print your name, sign it, and then that also needs to be notarized. Once that is done, you email that paperwork to HR, and you have to fax it because we need to see the whoever notarized it. And then you also bring it in person into the office. Or if you're working remotely, you have to mail the paperwork in. So you have to email it, fax it, and send it. Okay. Okay. And then after your time off is approved, you can't have your time off. You only get paid. So if your PTO runs when it's a pay week, we don't pay you for that week. We pay you once you come back from PTO and you show proof that you did what you said you were going to do on the notarized form with the people that you say you were going to do it with. That's our proof. Okay? I'm just telling you how the business, and people have been having issues with, oh my God, busy, it's too much. They don't go work somewhere else. These are the rules. Okay, so that was just an example of some of the stuff that we got going on in the company right now. People just got gripes and oh my God, oh, busy, you took $40 out of my check because I came in 1 minute late. Oh my God, the cafeteria is closed now. Oh no, we got stale donuts and coffee and stuff. Like, shut up. In this economy, be grateful. Good morning, Sade. Pisces season coming up. So I will say, can you get your birthday off? Can you get your birthday off work? Natalie, you have been here regularly. Let's talk about it in our one-on-one check-in. Because I don't want the other people to, let's talk about it in our one-on-one check-in. I will say I am going to have a birthday live. Okay. And for my birthday, I'm going to be in Houston from the 1st to the 4th. Then my birthday is on the 5th. So I'm excited about that. But I am going to have get your coins ready. Okay. Because I'm going to need that money in Houston because I broke. So if y'all want to get a girl $1 or $2, because we're gonna be Ubering around, we're gonna be going to the clubs. Should I go to Turkey Leg Hug still? Because I heard of the people. I like Turkey Leg Hug, but people really not feeling it like that anymore. Okay, but get your coins ready. I'll be accepting cash app only, maybe PayPal, but y'all have to send it to my man because I don't have PayPal. But on the 1st. Sorry, not on the 1st. I'm not going to do it on the 1st. I'm going to do it on the 29th because my flight leaves on the 1st. On the 29th, there will be a BusyBlu birthday celebration. Okay, so y'all get ready for that. You know what? I'm going to update my wish list too. So if you're like, well, I'm not going to give you no cash because I don't want you to be spending money on stuff. You can also buy me a gift. Okay, and I think the last time I had people buy me a gift and then Taylor Bay wrapped all of them, and then I opened them all on the on the live. I think I'm gonna do that again because that was fun. Because a lot of y'all sent me a lot of gifts, and then it was fun to open up my birthday gifts with y'all. So on the 20, oh my internet, that means that he must be on it. Let me switch. Hold on, give me 1 second, y'all. And we're black. Okay. So I think I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna update my wish list for my birthday, and then I'll open up all of the gifts on the 29th. I only give y'all 10 days. That's kind of sad. But my stuff be cheap. I want little things. Like I need more pens. I'm gonna put some pens on there because I'm running out of pens. I bring them to the office and then I forget them at the office. And I'm running out of pens. And I like to write stuff down. Like stuff like journals. I want more journals. I want more inspiration books. So y'all see that. I'll post it in here after this video is done. But Talise, me, you will talk one-on-one, and then I'm going to have the birthday celebration February 29th, because I think this is a leap year, right? February 29th at night, and we'll do that. Sounds like a plan? Boom. Good morning, Haru. I got a lot to catch up. Keisha, you had PTO. Yes, she does. You had PTO too, Haru, but you never take it. And that's what I love about you. You always stay consistent. I work this weekend. Who do I submit my overtime to? If you work outside of work hours and you go over your time, we consider that volunteerism. You have to read your handbook, and that's really seriously, that's on like page 536. So there is no overtime. At that point, you are volunteering. Okay. 2 years, yes, 2 years in advance. Some of y'all not reading your handbook, and it shows. Do the same rules apply for maternity leave? Maternity leave. I don't know how many times that I'm gonna have to go through this, and then we're gonna get into the gossip news because it's clearly y'all not listening. There is a medical unit downstairs in the basement. What do you need leave for? If your water break, we got people who can help you deliver your baby, and we got doulas. So what are y'all like? What are you talking about? Maternity leave? It's maternity stay. Kitty Card from DC. Let's have a conversation. All right, let's get into it. We broke to Discovery Signal. Anybody checking for Discovery before I can contribute to anything. You get your just due. Exactly, Jamie. Oh, that was sweet. Yeah, it was fun. If y'all go back to like one of my birthday lives, everything that y'all sent me, because it comes as BusyBlu and not my real name, he raps. And then I had a big group of gifts behind me, and then he just wrapped all of them. So that was fun. That was fun. So I'm gonna do who's taking the pins is coming up. Thank you. Because Wendy is the HR assistant, and she also does accounts payable and deliverable. So she knows what's going on. Okay. It's maternity stay. All right, so let's get into this. The first thing I want to talk about, y'all, is this bullshit. I'm just gonna put this up and let y'all talk about it. So y'all know I did a live about Monique and her child, or the lack thereof caring for him, and we're just gonna watch the video, and I'm gonna let y'all discuss it. So we're gonna go clip by clip. Y'all ready? Let me take myself off the screen because I don't want to watch this bullshit. Y'all know that she's on tour or whatever she's doing, but for some reason, she's not helping herself as she is. You know what? Let me let y'all watch the video and then we'll talk about it.
wrong, but I ain't no bitch that's gonna back up from a motherfucking problem. I'm gonna walk straight to that motherfucker and I'm gonna deal with that shit. So today I'm coming through the airport in North New Jersey. It's the realest niggas I've ever met from North New Jersey. I'm coming through that motherfucking airport and I done just seen this motherfucking TikTok of my goddamn son. Had I known that nigga was gonna do a TikTok the day I brought him home, I'm gonna let y'all take that one. And when you see your child that you fuck for, I fucked for that nigga, not another bitch, it was me. And you see your motherfucking child go on a goddamn internet and tell people all the fuck that you're not.
Fuck that
and you just supposed to
yeah.
take that shit in stride. And I'm taking that shit. I apologize if I've done something in stride. And I'm walking through the motherfucking North Airport, and this elderly woman comes up to me. She said, Monique. I said, ma'am. Because I'm a respectful bitch, baby. I'm a respect this bitch. She old. She said, let me talk to you for a minute. So I had prepared myself for this old woman to tell me how fucked up I was. I prepared myself to be respectful, but to check a bitch if I had to. I prepared myself to listen. She said, listen, my grandbaby called me and told me to watch this goddamn TikTok of your son. And I watched that shit. In stride. And I'm walking through the motherfucking North Airport, and this elderly woman comes. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I want to tell you something. I said, ma'am. She said, fuck that nigga. I said, oh, bitch, fuck that nigga. And when the elderly people tell you, fuck that nigga, you ain't fuck that nigga. She said, you've been taking care of that nigga all his motherfucking life. She said, Monique, I'm 80 years old, and I got a son 60 years old. And every time that nigga don't get what he want, he still tell me how fucked up I was when he was 10 years old. Fuck that nigga. Fuck them kids, bitch. Word.
Let me tell you what the problem is. I mean, first of all, there was a YouTuber, and I'm not gonna say their name, but they were like trying to ridicule or make it seem like the son was wrong for speaking out. Let's be clear. Monique has continuously talked about being a bad mother. And to be honest, it sounds like she really separated herself from him. She gave him stuff because she's like, well, I'm his mom, so maybe I should buy him stuff and do stuff with him. Maybe. But like literally she's talked about throughout her career about how horrible she has been to her son and how much more important her career was than her son. And for the life of me, I don't get the people who are like, well, why is he speaking out now? Why is he? Because at some point you do get fed up. And I think now he's in his 30s, where I feel like now that I'm 30, or in my 30s, I like clairvoyance. No, I won't say clairvoyance. That's not the term I was looking for. The awareness of what happened to you and how you have to deal with it, and that trauma really starts to take hold. You get what I'm saying? And then you start to feel at least adult enough. Let me keep this up so that people know what I'm talking about. You start to feel adult enough to communicate effectively with your parents and let them know these are the issues that I had, and now I'm trying to deal with it as an adult because of all of the stuff that you did as a parent has afflicted pain on me, and I've afflicted that pain on other people. I've had to go through trauma. I've had to go through broken relationships. I don't know how to communicate effectively. I don't know. And all of that plays a role in you. Unless you have a parent who's just like, get over it, you're going to be fine, because that plays a role into you too. Because I hear a lot of people, and this is one of my favorite YouTubers, I'm not going to say their name, but they were just like, you grown. Nah, you're a grown man. You got to fix it and just get over it. If you still want a relationship with that person, which I feel like he still does want a relationship with his mother, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. You know what's crazy? And no shade to this YouTuber. They had a conversation and it was like, if their mom even felt like that they had a cough or something was going on, they pull it up and they gonna be there. So when you get that type of love and when you get that type of support and people who are going to surround you, you don't get it when someone else is feeling like, I don't have that from my caretaker. They had told a story about something that was going on with them and their mom, their sister, everybody pulled up, they're ready to fight for them. And this lady is ready to actually fight him. And it's weird. Really, he said, I'm sick of her. Me too. Me too. And I'm sick of the Monique apologist because it doesn't make any sense to me. Secondly, I know she's old. And the lady that she said she was talking to is older than that. Those baby boomer girls and the girls who gave birth to the baby boomers, this is not the Industrial Revolution anymore. Okay, there's an awareness that our community has started to tap into. There is an awareness that we have started to learn. And you can go to therapy because she's saying he's old enough to handle his own issues with a therapist. Doesn't sound like he wants a relationship with her. He harbors resentment for being treated differently to his siblings. And I've seen that. And that part's true as well. But also, I go to therapy. And what my therapists have always said, though, is that you need to have this tough conversation with your parent. Y'all know when we was growing up, we thought it was weird when kids were like, F off, mom, I'm trying to play my game. Because we was like, oh, I can never talk to my mom like that. But also, just communicate. Now, you ain't got to cuss the lady out, but communicate. And I don't know, put it in the chat, right? When you guys were younger, could you just openly tell your mom, I'm feeling sad and neglected? I feel like you don't want to spend time with me. I don't think you like me. Or did you just shut up and just have to keep it inside? Because in our community, it's like, well, you being a crybaby. Especially if you're a man, you being a crybaby. You know what I have to do, because parents do that a lot. You know how I have to keep the lights on and I have to work it. I got to go. You think that it's easy for me? Why are you putting that on the child? And I think this newer generation, or at least my generation I'm in the same age range as him. We have started the conversation about therapy, pushing it, making sure people go, motivating yourself, having those communications. The ones under us, they're not taking none of y'all BS. Like none of it. None of it. And I feel like her saying, well, when an older lady says, F those kids, then I know I got to do it. No, because that's how they used to do y'all. And then y'all did it to us. And we started to grow up and say, this don't seem right. And now we're raising kids who are like, you don't have to take nothing. We want to know about your feelings, what's going on, how to effectively communicate. Like, our generations have changed. Generations have changed. And for this lady, for the people who are like, He shouldn't be speaking out, and he said something about daddy, and why you got to talk about anything? This lady's going on tour talking about him. I don't understand. Why can't he speak? Why can't he speak? People are mad like, well, I'm going to give Monique accountability, but he got to take accountability too for speaking up. Why can't he speak? This lady's now on the stage in front of what, thousands of people, talking about her, talking about what she has continuously talked about throughout her career. I'm telling you, if you have not seen Mem's video, he played a whole compilation of her since that boy was a little boy, talking about how she don't give a about her son. And he does one video, and the people are like, oh, gotta give let's give him some because he's doing too much and he needs to handle his business as a man. He grown, he need to do. No, she needs to do therapy. She needs to do the healing and the fixing. She needs to learn some stuff. This is still your child. And shout out to Forest Rocks, because Forest Rocks said her daddy is what? 70, 80 something, and he is still her daddy. And when she needs help, assistance, or guidance, because he's gone through all of this before, she still calls him because you know what to do. Because I thought it was very rude and nasty and downplaying when Monique's husband kept saying, well, you're 30 years old and I was trying to teach you how to navigate buying a car. They don't teach that in school. They don't teach that in school. So yes, I would go to my parents to figure out, how do I get a loan? Do I just go there and buy one? Do I just go there and pick that up? I think it's great to ask for advice than to go there and look stupid, because then you'll get judged. Now, let me not say that word because that's derogative. They'll cheat you out of money. So the smart thing to do, I remember when I wanted to buy my first car, and I was just like, well, I'll just go figure it out and buy it. And my stepdad was like, no, God rest his soul. Let's go together, because they'll try to sell you lemon. And there was a lot of lemons that I was about to buy because I wanted a used car. I didn't want a new car. I just wanted a used car to get me from point A to point B. And he was like, no, I'm going to go with you because people will like cheat you out of stuff. And there were cars that I wanted to buy. And he would open up the hood and look at it. He was like, this don't got this is missing y'all said that this was going to be. And he saved me from having to pay a lot of money once I got a car that I could not, like, I would have to keep fixing. So you don't stop being a parent just because your child is grown. It don't work like that. And shame on individuals who feel like when they get sick or have a problem or issues or whatever, that they cannot confide in their parents. Shame on the parents for making you feel that way, and shame on you for then downplaying people who still have gripes and have emotions and feelings that they need to get out with their parents. I'm 30 something years old. Y'all don't need to know my age. I'm 30 something years old. And if I don't understand something, especially when it comes to like health insurance, when it comes to claims and stuff like that, I call my mother regularly. That's like, girl, what do I do? Because she's been here before, she's dealt with it before, she knows what to do. And I'm tired of these people saying, oh, they're a grown man. You a grown man, so you shouldn't. You being older does not mean that you have all the skills and the necessary tools. So I need people to get out of that. That's a grown man. You 45 years old. Why and now you still complaining about this stuff? Yes, because now I'm finally tapped into my awareness and my consciousness, and I'm ready to do the work. And since you've been here longer, can you help me? Because you're my mom or you're my dad. I'm over Monique. I'm over the people who are mad at Shalon for saying what he feels, how he feels about things. And as you can still see, she's going on tour talking about him, saying F him. But Shalon can't say anything. Y'all, it's a big problem for me because I'm an emotional person and I get really wrapped up in my emotions. And it's very easy for me to just disconnect. But I'm trying to be better at being communicative and show. And this whole situation is bad. Oh, Gabriel's here. Trying to shame him for giving him money in his 30s. Meanwhile, they borrowed money from Kevin. Okay. That part, and I didn't even think about that part. Y'all, shout out to Andrew Gabor. Y'all, I didn't even think about that part. And they only gave him $10,000 for a car note, which he got $1 million settlement from Netflix. But you had to take money from Kevin Hart and you mad grown. I didn't even think about that. None of this is making sense. It's not making sense. I just can't. Let me know, because y'all know how it's 30 minutes now, and that's normally how long these videos go. But I got off today, so I'm going to be doing 3 videos. But y'all, let's go to the next story. It wasn't. I just can't. I can't. I really cannot. I can't. I want to know how y'all feel about this. Okay, so I'm gonna play the video, and we're gonna read some of the comments. But I really want to know y'all thoughts about it all.
Is nobody in this class has a understanding of shapes. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 33. 5 out of 33 have a concept of shapes. We're talking squares, rectangles, triangles. That's all we haven't even gotten to the next. Oh my God, we haven't even got to the hard shapes yet. I haven't asked y'all to pull out a calculator. I haven't asked y'all to multiply. I haven't asked y'all to add. I haven't asked y'all to subtract. I haven't asked y'all to do anything but identify shapes. What shape is this when you cut it in half? What shape is this when you cut this in half? No. I'm just hush. Just hush. I literally have not. This is the first question where they ask y'all to calculate the area. Mind you, if you're paying attention, books with the answers right on them. This is not even a try it question. This is an example from the book. And only 5 people can give me the answer out of 30-something people, out of 30-something kids. And again, nobody's asking y'all to calculate, multiply, divide, add, subtract. I asked y'all to identify shapes. And we can't get 13-year-olds to identify triangles, squares, and rectangles. This is literally the only class all day who cannot identify shapes. So tonight, for homework, I'm gonna need you guys to draw shapes. Draw shapes so we can understand what shapes are. Because I see we have to start at the very basic. At 12 and 13, we can't even go into area of a square, area of a triangle, if we can't even identify a square, if we can't even identify a triangle. It's kind of hard.
All right. So I want to know how y'all feel about this, because I feel like I'm about to have an unpopular opinion, and y'all may not get with it. But God's favor, back to the last thing that we were talking about. But Busy, I understand what you're saying. However, if they had this conversation repeatedly, when do you start forging and moving forward? I think you start forging and moving forward. So it's two things. Sometimes you need a person to take accountability for what they've done and say to you, I did not do you right. And I am sorry. And I don't think I'm ever going to do you right. And you're never going to get what you're going to get from me. You're never going to have that. I'm trying to start fresh and new. Like, I think that that's how some people move forward. It's hearing that and understanding that. Because, you know, sometimes you can make up stuff in your mind. And I'm just putting this out there in the universe because we've been through it before. You know, sometimes you just make up stuff in your mind and you assume that that's the thing. And then you realize later that actually wasn't. Like, oh, they don't like me, so I'm just not going to talk to them anymore. And then finally they reaching out and they're like, hey, I've been trying to reach out. And you're like, well, I thought you didn't like me. I thought you didn't want to talk to me anymore. So that's why I stopped. I was like, oh, no, I was, my mother passed. Or I was in jail, you know, something like that. So sometimes you need somebody to say something. Monique seems like she's talking to everybody but her son. And then when her son actually does ask her to take accountability and try to do stuff with her, daddy talks. Sorry, Uncle Daddy, because he can't call him dad. Because he only knew it, which is another thing that's weird. You always knew him as uncle, so that's why you can't call him. You married this man, bro. You married this man. But let's move on to this. I'm going to get onto this. And I get the gentle parenting, understanding and approach, and being kind and nice with kids. I operated differently. So this is what I'm saying. Everybody and other people can disagree with me, and that's fine. I needed teachers who were like letting me in the class know, girl, y'all not getting it. And then like simplifying it so much. So, and then helping me compete with other classes because I wanted to be one of the best students. Like I was in the talented 10. I'm talented 10. I was in the top 10%. I definitely wasn't in the talented 10. Come on, W.E.B. Du Bois. But I needed them to challenge me and let me know I'm not doing the work because I always wanted to be smart. I always wanted to be smart. I always wanted to know stuff. Always wanted to have the best vernacular. I always wanted to be able to have the best, the gift of gab, rebuttals, knowledge on history, books, reading, math, everything. I always wanted that. And when my teacher always sat down and was like, y'all not getting it. And I will say, and this is like a little bit of my history, but I used to be in regular classes, right? But I was very talkative. Like I just did not know how to gossip and talk, right? And once I got to middle school, my teacher had a meeting with my mother because I would have these conversations with, or the teacher would have these conversations with our class. Once I got to middle school, the teacher had a conversation with my mom and basically was like, your son is way too gifted to be with these other people. He needs to be in advanced courses. Like he needs to apply and be a part of other stuff because he's way too advanced for these kids. Like there were people in my class and I just felt like it was like homework was not important. They didn't care about growth. They didn't care about learning. Like after they got homework, they wouldn't put it in their book bag if we got worksheets. And I never understood that. I just never did. So I needed someone who's going to challenge me. And then once my teacher, she submitted me for this advanced program that then my mom put me in. It was like an enrichment program, which it was so intense. And then I had to go to school all year. Like I never even had summers off because then you had summer, you had school and you had summer enrichment, which meant that you had to go to school throughout the summer. And it was just like regular school. Like we had science, we had math, we had computer sessions, and then you had whatever your language was and all that stuff. When we had to do that, and I did that all throughout middle school. I loved it, and it was great for me, but I needed someone to let me know you're not working up to your best ability, and you're not being your best, and you need to be better. How you don't know what a shape is, and it says it right at the bottom. It says square at the bottom. How you cut a square in half? Well, I guess it depends on how you cut a square, because if you cut it diagonally, it's two triangles. But if you cut it horizontally or vertically, it is just going to be a rectangle. But how y'all don't know that? How you don't know that? And I needed teachers like that who was like, girl, what are y'all not getting it? What are you not getting? So talk to me. Because what I didn't like when I used to be in those regular classes, that sometimes teacher would just be like, you know what, no homework today because it didn't matter. I don't like just like teachers who just don't care. And I also didn't like when they were just like, y'all just gonna draw shapes for today. And I'm thinking to myself, why? He's being very honest with his young people. Y'all not getting it. He didn't call them dumb. He didn't say y'all stupid. He didn't say y'all ignorant. He was just saying y'all are not up to par with the other classes, and I need y'all help to get up to other classes. The answers are right in the book, and you're still not getting it. So if I want you to at least be up to par with other classes, let's just start with just shapes. Because you're not getting it. And it's fair you're not getting it, but it's frustrating. And I want to move you guys along. So let's just do shapes. Because only those 5 people over there get it. And the rest of y'all, because No Child Left Behind, thank you so much, Bush. You got 30 people in the class. So y'all 5 people get it, but y'all 25 people don't get it. Let's just start writing shapes, drawing shapes. And then, because I can't ask you to find a radius of anything if you don't even know what this is a triangle. We ain't even got the octagons and pentagons and nothing else. I said, if you don't have passion for your students, just say that. So you think that he doesn't have the passion? Tell me more, Brittany. Tell me more. They said this is a parent. I think he's being real true to life. I think he's being true to life. I tried to substitute teach. It lasted 2 days. I was going to lose my seat. Not go to jail. We need you. Aquarius God said children are dumb. It's that, you know what? It's the curriculum that have changed. I felt like when I was in school, but again, I was like being put in gifted programs. I went to the same schools as everybody else in my community, but they would section off people. So I don't know if they have these programs anymore, but I used to be in what was called the International Middle Years Program. So INYP, where we did extras like stuff, extra work. But then we also got to like hear from like leaders in the community. We did more trips and stuff like that. And then from there, I moved from the International Middle Years Program, which continued into high school. And then I became a part of the IB program. And then from there, I started doing AP work, which prepared me for college, because you get college credits when you pass your AP courses tests. And I think that now, I don't even know if they have these programs anymore, if they even exist. I feel like right now, we're just trying to get people to learn on a standard of the test. And you can't teach people that way. I used to be excited about learning. I used to be excited about learning new things and being a part of things. And I feel like now it's just like, well, what's the test going to be? So then let's just do the test. Aren't the parents helping and checking their homework? To be honest, no. And I'm not going to put an onus on the parents, because in this economy, girl, people need 2-3 jobs. You leave your first job and then now you go Uber or you DoorDash or you're giving people their groceries, because you in this economy, like, they're trying to eliminate the middle class, and you need more money. You need more money. It's not sustainable. And then you have to try to come home and help your child. Do I wish that was the best thing to do? Yes. But are the people doing it? I don't think so. I know my mother used to help me and my sister with our homework. But when it got to my younger siblings, it was me and my sister with them because she was working. New math is hard. Maybe they have not new shapes going around. Honesty is the best policy. That's what I say. Tell the girls the truth. Teaching is hard AF. Glad we're talking about it. Yes. Happy Obama Day, Busy. Yes. Happy Obama Day. I just don't think it's effective to shame people. He could talk to some of them individually to understand. That's a lot of talk, you know. I think he should do that. I say yes, and let the class know collectively y'all falling behind. But also, this could be, what do you need from me to help you get further? But my thing is, y'all know teachers get paid pennies. They get paid pennies. And then we expect them to try to teach the class, multiple classes a day, depending on what type of school you work at. And you get new personalities. Like, you have to stand in front of new personalities, especially in like high school or middle school. We switch classes and we go from teacher to teacher. You have to deal with hundreds of personalities a day, and who's not doing well. And then now you have to try to sit down with each person individually and say, how can I help you be better? It's a lot. And then they don't even get paid enough for that. You don't even get paid enough for that. I don't know. Really, B said, I need to know your thoughts, really, because I know you in schools. So tell me what you think. Tell me what your thoughts are. I actually think I want your opinion more than anybody else. Because I'm not a teacher. But I feel like you getting paid these little bit of pennies, and then you gotta teach hundreds of students, and then deal with their personalities, their parents' personalities. And now you're trying to find the best way to rectify how they can be better for, again, if you teach middle school and high school. I don't know how it is in elementary school. He's probably in elementary school because he's teaching shapes. Have an individual conversation with all of them, and half the parents not even coming to the parent-teacher conferences. I don't know. I don't work in that field. I'm gonna leave it alone. I want Really BTV to have a comment. Do a video about this, girl. Do a video about this. Let's move on to the next thing. This part, I just want to talk about how this made me upset. Let's talk about this. This man ordered a DoorDash alcohol. Where they do that at, to be honest, because I wouldn't leave my house. Okay, I'm just gonna have a fun day inside. I wouldn't leave my house. Okay, just bring it to me. Okay, but look at this, y'all.
I mean, you look like you've been drinking, so I can't. Yeah.
What you mean?
That's all I can tell you.
What's wrong with that shit?
Alright, I'm telling you.
Yeah, you do that.
Just letting you know you're not allowed to do that.
What's wrong with you?
I mean,
Okay. So I do think I ain't gonna act now. I ain't gonna be weird about it. He was very rude for manhandling her, but he did pay for his alcohol and whatever service charge and fee that they had to bring it to him. She like, well, you're already intoxicated, so I shouldn't give you any more. Lady, I'm at home. I'm at home. I could see if she was like, it was like, deliver it to this car. I'm on 35th and I'm on 35th and K. Then I can see where her morality could kick in. Like, girl, I'm not giving you no. First of all, you in the car, you already intoxicated. I'm not giving you a car. Girl, I'm at home. I'm at home. I'm probably depressed, about to have this alcohol and pass out on the couch. And Netflix is gonna say, "Are you still?" Netflix gonna say, "Are you still watching?" No. Whose side y'all on? Are y'all on the DoorDash person side or are y'all on the customer side? Put that in the comments. I want to know. And then let's get to the last story. This has been an hour, but I ain't got to work today, so we good. Yeah, but that is actually robbery. What part is robbery? Wendy, he was responsible for not driving to get the alcohol by getting death with alcohol. Because he could have been drunk and been like, you know what, I'm about to go to the liquor store. Girl, sit your A down. If you want more alcohol, we'll bring it to you. Let's go to the next story. And a lot of, you know what I was going to talk about? I was going to talk about Portia and her husband, but I'm not interested in that or her. So let's just listen to this. And y'all tell me y'all thoughts. Okay.
Thank you. You need to be eating
Oh, let me do it again. Sorry, y'all.
collard greens. Thank you. You need to be eating collard greens at least once a month.
What you put in your collard greens?
Depends on what. Are you vegetarian?
No, girl, I need a meat.
Okay, so I got you with the smoked turkey.
Thank you very much.
Okay, or smoked turkey leg.
Do you put sugar or vinegar in yours?
Vinegar.
Girl, you can come cook for me anytime.
Vinegar, little liquid smoke.
Nice.
The onions.
What about ham You put ham. My wife's learning to.
I'm gonna bring you some collard greens.
What about here? What about here? Let's see. Can we just do it one more time? Let's do it one more time. What about
Thank you. You need to be eating collard greens at least once a month.
What you put in your collard greens?
Depends on what. Are you vegetarian?
No, girl, I need a meat.
Okay, so I got you with the smoked turkey.
Thank you very much.
Okay, or smoked turkey leg.
Do you put sugar or vinegar in yours?
Vinegar.
Girl, you can come cook for me anytime.
Vinegar, little liquid smoke. The onions.
What about ham You put ham. My wife's learning to.
I'm gonna bring you some collard greens.
Thank you.
You need to be eating collard greens at least once a month.
What you put in your collard greens?
Depends on what. Are you vegetarian?
No, girl, I need a meat.
Okay, so I got you with the smoked turkey.
Thank you very much.
Okay, or smoked turkey leg.
Do you put sugar or vinegar in yours?
Vinegar.
Girl, you can come cook for me anytime.
Vinegar, little liquid smoke. The onions.
What about ham You put ham.
I'm crying. Oh my God. Oh, oh, sorry. What about him? Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm crying. I'm sorry. Like you just. Oh no. Okay. Let's start with this. Okay. That's so hard. What about this week? She got him this week. Oh my God. What about him?
My wife's learning to. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you some collard greens.
Thank you.
You need to be eating collard greens at least once a month.
What you
Dark
put in your
green
collard
vegetables.
greens?
Depends on are you vegetarian?
No,
Or
girl,
you
I need a meat.
Okay, so I got you with the smoked turkey.
Thank you
necks,
very
Okay, or
much.
smoked turkey legs.
Do you put
Yes.
sugar or vinegar in yours?
Vinegar.
Ooh,
You can come cook me anytime.
Yes,
Vinegar,
yes.
liquid smoke.
Yes.
With the onions.
What about ham hocks? You put in.
My wife's learning to. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you some collard greens.
Thank you.
You need to be eating collard greens.
Okay. I'm not gonna stop laughing. I'm sorry. What about him? Oh my God, I'm crying. What about ham hocks? Okay. Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I know I scared you. Go ahead. I'm gonna be like, what was going on? Go. Good boy. Okay. What about ham hocks? Okay. Now, how y'all make y'all collards? Okay. I will say when I was younger, I think my grandma, she either used ham hocks or turkey, smoked or smoked turkey. As I got older, I like to taste more with smoked turkey. And turkey tails are my favorite. And I learned that from my partner's mother. Child, if you got a turkey tail in it, Jesus. So I put a smoked turkey wing in it, and then I put turkey tails in it. And I overcook. So I do that. I want to know, what is this sugar thing? People be putting sugar in their greens. Y'all put it in the comments. Have y'all ever heard of that? Have y'all ever heard of that? And do y'all do it? Do y'all family do it? Let me tell you how I make my greens, y'all. First of all, wash, clean, cut, stemmed, everything, right? After that, I put them in a crock pot. I know some people put them in a actual like big pan. I put mine in the crock pot, and it's gonna be on. But this is just how I like it, because I like mine to really steam and stuff. Because you could cook it on low. I put mine on high for 6 hours. Okay, I start mine in the morning. I baked it with chicken broth. Then I add in my vinegar. And then I add in whatever the smoked meat is. I don't boil it before I put it in. I let it all cook together. All cooked together. Everything cooking together. I add in cracked salt, cracked pepper, and then red pepper flakes. And then I let that thing sit. And when I tell you, Every time. I will say maybe it's like 8 hours that I put it on. But because I start my greens in the morning. Like I wake up early, depending on what time we about to eat the food. I wake up early and I'm like, yo, let's get these greens done. They are because I already have them cut and shredded or whatever the night before, put them in the fridge, cleaned and everything. As soon as I wake up in the morning, child, that's when I get that crock pot out, Hamilton Beach. I know I don't know what type of crock pots y'all like to use, Instapots or whatever. Hamilton Beach. That's my bra. I got 2 of those things. Hamilton Beach. You put those greens in. You put that turkey leg in. I normally use the wing. I'm not gonna say a turkey leg. I normally use the wing. You put that turkey wing in. You put those turkey tails in. You got that chicken broth. You can use vegetable broth too as well. Don't put no beef broth in there because you playing yourself. You put that chicken broth in, that vegetable broth in. You add that vinegar in there, crack some salt, crack some pepper, put a couple of red pepper flakes in, and you just watch it do its work. After 6 to 8 hours, depending on what you're doing, and I do mine on high. I don't slow cook it. I keep it on high that whole time because I want the turkey leg to dissolve and break off the bone. Girl, you got a meal there. You got a meal there. I ain't never heard about nobody putting no sugar in it. And really, BTV, no, because she been over my house. And she know how much I cook. I cook for the grass. I cook for the families. Everybody can get some. And I don't play. And put your B's in the comments for Gabor, and then put your B's in the comments for Really BTV. I forgot about all of that. I could die. Hamilton Beach on high. Cook that for, I want to say at the 7th hour, it really is kind of done, and you could start to put it on warm. But they don't got a 7-hour option. So, normally 8. Every hour, I come back, look at it, stir it up a little bit, make sure everything's in there, all the seasonings in there. After about that 4th hour, things start breaking apart a little bit. You start to feel it. You start to see the girl coming to form. I heard somebody say something about some sugar. All right. Somebody said I had to step away from my desk. You gotta be careful out there. I put a teaspoon of sugar. What does the sugar do? What did sugar do? Like, I've never heard of that in my life. Sugar for less bitter. Mine ain't never bitter though. Let's be clear. Y'all want my collards. Y'all definitely want my greens. I guess it's just less bitter. I don't know. Can we get a cooking with busy video? I haven't done one in a while. Y'all know what? I should have done one last night. When I tell y'all, I made because they on sale right now at Safeway for some reason. I don't know what the reason is, but they on sale right now. I made corn and chans last night. When I tell y'all, so let me tell y'all what I did with them. And if y'all gotta work, y'all look for hot topics and news, that part's done. Okay. I do greens cooked with love and low and slow. See, I don't do low and slow. I feel like it's low and slow because it's in a slow cooker, but it's on high for me. I would love to see him cook. I do be cooking. I sit mine on the back burner and they can cook slow for a while while everything else is cooking about 4 hours in the stove. But I ain't never put no sugar in mine. I don't get it. This for you, Really B and Gabor? I'm sorry, I forgot to ask. I love my Hamilton Beach. It's the only thing I do. I'm very specific about the crock pots that I'm gonna use. I have an Instapot that my partner's mom gave me. I love it because you can like roast and do all that stuff in there. But when it comes to the crock pot part or the slow cook part, that girl don't be doing nothing. She don't do nothing. And when I tell you about Hamilton Beach thing though, girl, one for the gods. But I have an Instapot. It's like an Instapot crock pot. When I need it for other things that I'm gonna cook, down. That thing cook down. But I cannot literally slow cook anything in there. It don't work like that. All right. I heard about people using sugar to cut the bitter. I mean, Are you cooking it right if they're bitter? I don't get it. But y'all, so this is what I did last night. Okay, this is what I did last night. So I made cornichons. I don't know if y'all like cornichons or whatever. But I made cornichons. I use like the baby tomatoes, the little ones that you can buy like in a bag. I use the assortment, so the ones that has like red, purple, what do we call them? Just tan regular potatoes. And then I bought another bag of just regular potatoes. I mean, regular small potatoes, like they were all like the tan ones, but all baby tomatoes, right? Then I did a rustic cut of onions. Put that in there. This is all I put, and I put all of this in like a big roasting pan, right? I did a rustic cut of onions. Put that in there. Boom. I put some oregano. I put some parsley, some cilantro, a little sage. That's all the bed. Then I covered that bed with chicken stock, right? Before I did all of that, I seasoned my cornichon first. So I let it sit for like a day. Well, half a day because I seasoned it in the morning. But cornichon is too small. You can't, you don't want that much. I use adobo, sazon, cracked salt, cracked pepper, and then slap your mama hot. Season that, shook it up. Oh, and olive oil. Sorry, olive oil. Season that, put it in a Ziploc bag, put it in the fridge. Boom. That started at 9 o'clock. I didn't start cooking this stuff until about 6, 7. And that's because we had a date night. After that, I took out the chicken. I put carrots in the base as well. So the potatoes, all those seasonings that I said, the cilantro, they're fresh. Cilantro, oregano, all of that stuff. Potatoes, rustic cut of onions. In the middle of and y'all judge me, but it's gonna taste good. In the middle of the cornichon, I took out jerk seasoning. And I rubbed the jerk seasoning in the middle of each cornichon. Like inside the cavity. That's what I put it in. Now, it wasn't going to be a jerk chicken, but I just feel like it has the most seasoning and flavor. So I rubbed the jerk chicken seasoning in the middle of each cavity. You got to get that jar. Just rub it in there. You don't need a lot because it's not a jerk chicken. You're not putting it on the outside. You're just seasoning the inside. Put that in there. Then I cut up celery. A full stalk of celery, after you clean it, wash it, all of that stuff. Because celery be coming out here looking like they just really just came through the mud. Celery and then full carrots. I cut those in half. And then I stuck it inside of the cavities of each of the birds. Okay, because I made 4. So I had enough. Since I cut each one in half, I had enough. Just so that it stays open and stays up. You don't have to do that part. It's not important. Like, it really isn't important. You don't have to do it. And then I had a little bit of Italian stocks left. Put that in there, and then I put what is it? 1 tablespoon, whatever you cut. You know how butter comes. I put that inside of each one. Bake that thing, okay, for an hour. I turned it at 30 minutes. So that it cooks evenly. Turned it at 30 minutes, bake that thing for an hour. When I tell you that was the juiciest, moistest, best cornichon I've ever made in my life, God, I'm telling you. And I had it with Brussels sprouts. I made some Brussels sprouts with it. My man likes how I make my Brussels sprouts because I do like bacon and balsamic vinaigrette, a little bit of honey, some olive oil, and I let those things cook, turning them over because, you got to get a little bit crisp on your Brussels sprouts. Did that with some yellow rice. Child, a meal. A meal. You working today, Really BTV? Let me bring some over so you can taste it. Let me bring some over so you can taste it, Really BTV, because when I say it was immaculate, but my whole thing is this. What about some hair hocks? What about the hair hocks? Y'all, thank y'all for joining me for this. I guess because I'm not working, this is really, really a good live. Yeah, I want to thank everybody who came into this meeting. Start reading your handbooks. Shout out to Really BTV. Shout out to Gabriel who gave the super chats. I really, 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 really do appreciate it. If y'all all want to know more about me and everything that I have going on, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitter, BusyBlu, no space, no E. You can also find me on Twitch, BusyBlu, where this is definitely streaming right now. Shout out to the Gross who have nothing to do today. My dog knows when it's time, the video's going to be over. Shout out to the girls who have nothing to do today. Happy President's Day. I say go out to a museum, go out to the zoo, go touch grass. I think maybe I'll walk the national monuments today because I love to do that. Outside of that, have fun, cook some food, touch some grass, love on the people that love you, and let's just make this a beautiful Monday. I'm about to go get busy, and you all stay busy. Until next time.